What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another episode of the Culture Decides. I'm your host, Lee, and this is episode 16. I'm so grateful that you all are still rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the summer, y'all really been turning up them downloads. I see it. I see the support from, all over. So I'm really grateful for that. And, as we walk into this new season, we're going to tap into new music together. I feel like summer was pretty lit music wise. People like to say, oh, we ain't had no hits of the summer. They wasn't listening hard enough. If anybody are saying there were no hits of the summer, they are not listening hard enough. They ain't listening to music. They ain't listening to music, okay? There was plenty of hits, plenty of bangers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of projects that I'm gonna cherish going forward, like that Clips. That shit still be on repeat to this day. So, a lot of gems, you know what I'm saying? God don't like ugly. Like, if you're a Gunna fan, I know you fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's fucking Joey Badass, West Side Gun, Benny the Butcher. Like, man, listen, we got a long list going. And if we count the fact that I believe September 19th is still summer, we gonna get a Thug and Cardi B album. So, hey, summer is pretty fucking good if you ask me, musically. But anyways, y'all, I'm gonna hop into some great music that I want y'all to listen to on your own. You know what I'm saying? But before I do that, I'm gonna take you through the agenda. So of course I'm gonna have my quick reminders and updates. Then I'm gonna hop into a quick news session, and then we gonna tap into some shit on repeat for me, some artists on my radar, some music submissions that y'all need to keep on y'all radar. You know what I'm saying? These are people that's working hard. And then of course I have a project review. I'm gonna share my thoughts on Joey Badass' latest project called Lonely at the Top. Been waiting for that. Been waiting for that new Joey for a minute now. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna hop into that. So, first things first, reminders, updates. Reminder, follow me everywhere at the Culture Decides on your favorite social media platform. If you haven't already, I'm gonna show you love back. I'm gonna follow back. So check out the Culture Decides. And while you're listening to this episode, whether it's on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, wherever the hell you prefer to consume your content, like and subscribe, download if you're listening to the Culture Decides on a streaming podcast platform, and share your thoughts. If there's anything that you want to talk to me about, I respond to y'all via DMs. We be having conversation about music. You can hit me up via the podcast platform. There's a link that actually texts me directly. You can leave your feedback, you know what I'm saying? So I want to continue forming this community with you all. So I love to see the engagement. Let's just keep it going. Like I'm seeing y'all engage with each other. Like that's what I want. I want to form a community for the culture. So, hey, cool to see y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all helping that. So I fuck with it. Now, another quick reminder, I'm also a part of the Hip Hop High Society cast. So make sure y'all follow Hip Hop High Society on everywhere. Instagram, Hip Hop High Society, Twitter, hop underscore high. And every week, Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, we are live talking about the hot topics of the week, talking about, shit that's buzzing, reviewing music live. Like, hit us up there. I'm a part of there. And yeah, you'll see me in there, a couple times a month for sure with the crew. So I definitely don't want y'all to miss out on that. That's some great fucking content. The crew is amazing. So yeah, support Hip Hop High Society. All right. So that's pretty much it for reminders and updates. Really just those things. Follow, support, download, check me out on Hip Hop High Society. Rocking with them too. Now we're gonna hop into the news. Now this one, because I'm really determined to just get to talking about some fucking music, it's gonna be a quick chat. You know what I'm saying? I want to really tap into the underground artists that I got for y'all in this Joey Badass review. Now, this section today for the news is going to be called News Under 2. I'm going to give y'all some quick takes under 2 minutes. At least I'm going to try. This is the first time I'm doing it. Straight up, ain't no practice. I ain't go behind the mirror and practice. I'm just straight up. We're going to see if I could yap within 2 minutes. Because sometimes I'll be like, fuck, it's been 20 minutes I've been talking. All right, hold on. Let's see what's going on. Now, I'm about to go off. Quick news on the 2. Cardi B won her case against that crazy security guard that was trying to film her inside of the OBGYN office. Now, if y'all don't know, Cardi was very much in the early stages of her pregnancy and trying to keep it low-key at the time. And security pulls up, sees her, gets excited, invades her personal space within a doctor setting. Come on, this is a place where people want the most privacy out of, I would say, anywhere outside of their home, right? Security tries to film her, get up all in her face. Cardi, refuses. Apparently, she gonna say, "Oh no, Cardi attacked me and did whatever." Long story short, Cardi won the court case, and the rest is history. She don't gotta pay shit. She's moving on the drop. Am I the drama? Y'all better check that out. I will, and I will be doing a review for it. Ain't no Cardi hate allowed here. Now, on to Thug. Young Thug, he been yapping in and out of jail. We seen the highlights. I spoke to y'all about the highlights. I've been posting some of it. We talked about it on Hip Hop High Society. And when I say highlights, I guess a little bit of low lights for him, right? He had a lot of lows, especially behind bars. He was pretty much in solitary for 23 hours out of the day. So, it's not surprising the nigga started tripping. But unfortunately, he spoke about a lot of people that are supposed to be near and dear to him. That's the messy part. Regardless of the fact, I think we bullied him enough to the point where he is going to listen to the fans, and we're finally going to get a project. He said sorry to all the celebs, but he hasn't said sorry to us. And the best way to do that is by dropping the Sorry for the Wait edition. We finally going to get that shit from him, allegedly, September 19th. And I say that because a few times he got me hyped and didn't fucking drop. So we're going to see. Now, for the Doechii and Dot haters, this one might make you mad. These two just scooped up 2 Emmys individually. Dot won an Emmy for his halftime Super Bowl performance. Ain't no fucking surprises there. That was fucking immaculate. Deserves an award. Kendrick has been on a run. You already know how I feel about that. And if you don't, go check out the previous episodes. Now, Doechii, on the other hand, she won big for her performance at the Grammys. If you didn't see that performance, that was actually one of my highlight performances from that night. I did discuss it on my Grammy recap episode, so check that out as well. But she won Outstanding Choreography for Variety or Reality Programming, which is the Grammys. Shout out to Dot and Doechii. Ain't no slander allowed around here. I mean, listen, if you wanna talk shit, I'm gonna just talk shit back. It's fine. We're gonna do what we gotta do. Now, that was it. News under 2. I think I got it under 2, maybe 2.5. You know what I'm saying? We trying for the first time. Little quick takes, little quick thoughts, little quick things that I noticed that I liked, that stood out to me, or things that I just wanted to be like, well, damn, what's going on with that? Like I said, I was determined to hop into the music. So I'm gonna hop into some tracks that have been on repeat for me, and things that have been on my radar because they dropped and just been buzzing, right? So first things first, Cardi got Am I the Drama popping out soon. Am I still a drama? You know what I'm saying? It's dropping this month. I'm so happy for that. I can't wait to see the growth from, her first project. But, she dropped Imaginary Players. And over the course of the last month, I've seen some mixed reviews. And I've seen some people be, what I feel like, overly critical of Cardi. I feel like if we look at Jay-Z's version of this song, right? Imaginary Players, right? And we compare that track to other tracks within Jay-Z's catalog, I feel like that track in his catalog compared to this track in Cardi's catalog, they hold the same weight. I feel like it was that fun, I'm talking my shit, you know what I'm saying, smooth motherfucker New York type vibe, talking they shit vibe. I feel like they was doing that, but I don't feel like if I'm listening to one for Jay-Z, I don't feel like that was like his best song. You know what I'm saying? I do give it a 2 out of 3. And I give Imaginary Players by Cardi B as well a 2 out of 3. So I feel like it was a great track. I feel like I feel like it was a solid track. I feel like it was a nice surprise to hear her do her attempt, but I'm really excited for the rest of the album. One track that I wish she would have dropped, I guess maybe instead of this, is Bodega Baddie. I heard the snippet. I feel like that's been already going viral. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that could have been a great leading track outside of the one she already have. And maybe Imaginary Thoughts could have been Imaginary Thoughts. Imaginary Players could have been like, oh, okay, I'm gonna hold this in my pocket for y'all. But that's just my thoughts. 2 out of 3 out of that. It's been on replay. I've been playing it a few times to really gauge how I feel about it. And yeah, I feel like it's right there in the middle. 2 5 signs out of 3. 2 5 signs out of 3. So I'm gonna stay with that. Now, 2 tracks on repeat by the same artist. Gunna dropped the last one. That was an album that I did a review for. There's a few tracks that I actually did review over the last few weeks that, I'll be on my notes going crazy, typing down my thoughts about these songs. The last one overall, the project was okay. It was way too long, but he did have a few gems on there. And I'm really excited to see what Gunna does post this era of, like, no more YSL, whatever the case is, right? Gotta work for them. So let's see what he decides to do next. But as far as what's on repeat from that project, WGFT, we getting fucked tonight, featuring Burna Boy. I mean, I can't lie, it's a catchy flow. It's been stuck in my head. It's been on repeat. The radio version blows mine. I hate when they fucking play it. I'm like, no, we going up tonight. But whatever, you gotta be inclusive in case somebody wants to play it that way. Regardless, it's a banger. That's a 3 out of 3 for me. Now, another track that I do like off of the last one, Forever Be Mine, featuring Wizkid. I don't know, Afro Ghana is a vibe. It's been a recent recipe of his that just has been hitting. Ever since he got out, he's been, had to seek out those that are willing to collab with him, and he was able to get some Afrobeats artists that don't really give a fuck about all this street nonsense, right? That's just here to showcase their talent. And listen, I was like, yo, this is Wizkid. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they both did their thing on that. Forever Be Mine, WGFT, 2 bangers. He got a couple other songs on there that I really like, but these 2 specifically, running it up before I even recorded today, running it up in the car, blasting it. You know what I'm saying? Now, a little dance hall. I gotta keep reminding y'all that's a part of me too. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate hip hop. I love dance hall, near and dear to me because of the roots, right? I love it all. You know what I'm saying? We inclusive over here. We doing it all. We saying it all. We talking about all the things we love. You know what I'm saying? Sharing it with the culture. Right? Listen, you might like it too. But I would say these 2 dancehall tracks, if there's anybody, fellas, ladies, you know what I'm saying? Theys, thems, if you trying to impress somebody Caribbean girl, whatever the case is, I don't know. These 2 tracks, put these 2 tunes on. And we're like, oh, what you know about that? Okay, I see how you moving. So there's this artist called Craft God, like Craft without the T, 2 F's at the end, starting with a K, and God with an A instead of an O. Craft God. He got a song called Demon Grease. It's not about demons. It's about, you know what I'm saying, figurative language. You know what I'm saying. So check that out. It's a 3 out of 3. And then Violent. I might have said this one already, but it's still been on repeat. So I ain't gonna lie. I actually mentioned this on the story that him and Russian, which is a Jamaican producer that always does firework, they got a banger with Passenger Princess that has been on repeat for me. Valiant is actually going on tour, coming to North America in November, I believe. Might just gotta go see him because he got some other bangers too. So Passenger Princess and Demon Grease by Craft God. Those two, like I said, if you're trying to tap in and listen to something a little different, dancehall vibes can be a little bit more on the vulgar side. I'll warn y'all, but I fuck with it. It's what I repeat. Yeah. Another song on replay. Take me through there. Take me through there. Yeah, that shit off of Metro Boomin, A Futuristic Summer. That still has been a repeat for me. I love the what I'm saying, that Atlanta vibes that it was bringing. I see people are actually picking it up on TikTok too, so I'm like, oh shit, it's going viral. But every time I hear that song, I be wanting to put on like some motherfucking like old school hair blockers on, motherfucking shades that, you know what I'm saying, just look like they from 2002. You know what I'm saying? I be like, okay, take me through there. How the hell she going? Whatever, I'm gonna cut that, but that shit was fire. I ain't mad at it. Now, another track that I wanted to talk to y'all about. It's been on repeat because I've been catching the feel for it, see how I feel about it. Mostly on the radar because it was a shocker. So by now you might know, you might have guessed. I did post it up on the story too when it first dropped. Ice Spice and Lotto linked up. A lot of y'all thought Lotto won the battle. I did too. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, that's what it is. Lotto cooked her. But these two linked up and made a song called God Damn. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They made that track right there. And I ain't mad at it. Now, this is what I gotta say. I was happy to see that these two squashed whatever weird ass beef they had. I didn't like that Ice Spice went and inherited the beef for Nicki Minaj. And I felt like when she chose to sign and do business with her, she kind of put herself in a box and limit herself to work with people that only Nicki like. Straight like that. Nicki's toxic. So, I wasn't surprised that she was placing herself in a box when she decided to work with her. Ice Spice should have been working with like Cardi B and all these girls, Lotto Ben, when these girls was running the summer last summer. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like despite her, still dropping and navigating how to maintain relevancy, I feel like that was a bad move. But I'm glad that she made the right move now. Now, as far as the song, the video was fun. It was them in a wrestling ring, like pretending to like go bar. I mean, not pretend. They like pretending to beat each other up, going bar for bar. But it's like some cutesy, girly wrestling match. Don't expect nothing crazy. They ain't flipping in off the top rope, but it was cool. It was cool. They had some of the streamers in there from the Clover Boys, the group from Cosnat. But the song itself, I ain't gonna lie. At first, I was like, okay, Ice Spice got a different flow on it. I feel like I like that. I was like, okay, sis, you had to bring it right. You had to top out of that grab, keep it a stat. You know what I'm saying? You had to do a little something different. But at first, I gave it a 1 out of 3. I was like, it's a 1 out of 3 fire emojis. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. It was just boom. But so I gave it a few more listens, and I feel like, the ladies were saying I was being a little harsh, whatever. But I gave it a 2 out of 3. 2 fire signs out of 3. I feel like I'm being fair. It's a hype, you know what I'm saying, for the ladies. You gotta let them have it. You gotta let the femmes have they jams. So 2 out of 3 for that. Now I got 2 more songs that I wanted to talk about that were like on my radar that I had to check out. Amine had dropped a song called LA. I was really hyped about Amine's project that he recently dropped. I reviewed, but I was disappointed by this track. I feel it was underwhelming compared to what I've been replaying from him. So I had gave LA a 1 out of 3. In case you're a Mine fan, I mean, go check it out yourself, see what you feel. Tell me if I'm bugging, but I don't know. It wasn't nothing special. Now, last track on radar. So, Drake has been teeing up this whole Iceman project that's supposed to drop soon. And he's been doing different episodes, revealing different songs. So far, which one was Central C wasn't a bad track. What did I miss? Wasn't bad either. It's just like you're missing the point that you are the problem. So it's like, and then when you remember the lawsuit, it's like, it takes the edge off of everything. So those tracks were decent tracks. This song here though, it's a remix. So for some reason, Cash Cobain and they decided to remix Somebody Loves Me and make a part two. And I don't feel like you needed that. I love the little spin on the beat because it has a dance hall vibe, but it didn't elevate the song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Talk about Slizzy Drizzy out in Brooklyn. Get out of Brooklyn if this is what you gonna fucking do. Because I feel like the song didn't get, if anything, if this was a version that was dropped and I didn't hear the original Somebody Loves Me, I'd be like, the song is not it. The auto tune on Party Next Door's voice pissed me off. I don't like the effect, and like I still feel like he did him dirty. Like, go listen to P4 if you really want to hear his talent. I prefer it. I still do like Party as an artist, but this wasn't for me. It was a 1 out of 3. Now, as far as this Iceman shit, we gonna see what happens. I can't fuck with this lawsuit shit. So sometimes it's just even hard to talk about the motherfucker because damn, you're so corny. But that's it for the on repeat on my radar section. Now we gonna get into the fun stuff, the shit that I'm really excited to talk to y'all about. You know, as I tap into more underground artists, underground artists that's on my radar and should be on your radar too. You know what I'm saying? I really, like I said, I really want to just keep growing that community. And like, I do also want to let y'all know, underground artists that's listening and producers that's listening, that while this section here is usually to talk about songs and one specific song out of your catalog, coming up on the next episode, I will be selecting one artist out of all the previous submissions and from anyone that decides to hit me up and wants to be included within an opportunity to have their full album review, full project, whether it's a mixtape, EP, whatever the case is. I'm gonna throw y'all in the little shuffle thing, so you can't say I'm choosing favorites, whatever the case is. And whoever it lands on, I will review your full project from top to bottom, not just one song, your full project, along with what I will be reviewing in depth next episode. So, if you are someone that wants the opportunity, hit me up, DM me, and let's get it popping. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. The more I listen to these submissions, the more I'm like, yo, here's where the talent's at. Fuck the radio, fuck the Spotify top monthly listeners list. The talent is within social media hiding. They within Bandcamp. They are not even hiding. They just not being shown on a large level. You have to go seek it. You can't be afraid to tap into new music. Like, listen to that motherfucker with no monthly listens. Who knows? You might be the first to discover some hot shit. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the underground artists that I'm gonna talk about, I have 7 new tracks for y'all. New to me, might be new to you, but hey, regardless, download, save, buy it, run it up for them because these people deserve it. There's definitely, more to come soon. I can't slot them all in, but I'm definitely trying to have an even balance of talking to y'all about both underground and mainstream projects because I listen to everything, you know what I'm saying? I want to show love to it all, regardless of the genre, like shit, you know what I'm saying? If it's something that I feel like will resonate with y'all, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So now I always like to preface whoever submits, like not all submissions are guaranteed, but I do my best to try to include as many as I can when I can. Because even if it's something that doesn't hit for me, it may be something that somebody else really fucks with. You know what I'm saying? People may find somebody that they want to work with. I've already seen some of y'all commenting under each other's shit off for the first time. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep that moving. Let's keep that motion. So work with each other, follow each other, tap in with the culture. Even if I say this song ain't my favorite, you go see and go listen to it for yourself. Like, if you chose to listen to me, I'm asking you to do me a favor and extend that listen to these names that I'm going to talk to y'all about. Thank you. Now, like I said, I got 7. Lucky number 7. First one on the list. I'm going to talk to y'all about Trigger underscore T. So it's Trigger with an X underscore T. You can find them on social media as well. Trigger T dropped a song called Labels, produced by Sway. What's up? And I'm going to talk to y'all about this real quick. Now, Trigger T, representing from motherfucking Johannesburg, all right? We get international with it. We going out of bounds with it. We ain't just staying here. We going OT with it. So Trigger T out of Johannesburg. He's a trap artist and producer and submitted a song called Labels. And for this track, Trigger really wants y'all to know this is a track that's meant to address the frustrations, surrounding labels. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not easy. It's not easy being independent. It's not easy working with the labels. You know what I'm saying? If you can be independent and put the money behind your own shit, do it. And if you decide to rock with the labels, don't be silly like the numerous artists like Stove God, all these different people that we, we spoke about that on 2 episodes ago at Hip Hop High Society. But like, don't be silly and make these decisions that people are making, getting bad deals. We hear this all the time, and yet to this day, people still end up taking a bad deal. But whatever. Labels. As far as the song, the review. Now, this track here, Trigger, he switches up his flow a few times. He has sort of like a style that varies, you know what I'm saying? He experiments with his sound. It's not just like a hip hop sound. Some of his other tracks too. He has some other tracks that's even like a sprinkle of rock. And he does have like a sing rap vibe. So if you are a fan of that, you may appreciate this. Now, overall, he switched up his flows a few times on labels. I do like to see when artists are experimenting on the track or experimenting across their project. So that was cool. And the beat was solid. The beat, I'll give the beat like a 2 out of 3. The build up to it was nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate like when you can notice the different elements of the beat and what it is intended to do to the track, right? So the build up to the beat was really nice. Now, on the contrary, while the build up to the beat was very nice, I wasn't really crazy over the intro. Sometimes when artists are like bringing in the song, they're looking to fill that void within the beat. Like, it's okay to let the beat rock. So I know in the beginning, Trigger gives it a few yes and then jumps right into the first bar. Shit, I recommend let the beat rock in the beginning and then hop straight into that first bar. But yeah, that was it for me. I wasn't really crazy over that. But one bar that I really did enjoy out of this track Labels was when Trigger T moves on to say, sleeping on me is a mistake, corporate treating this shit like a parlay. And like, if you think about it, yeah, these labels really do treat artists like they're motherfucking parlay. You know what I'm saying? They lining y'all up like, all right, is this over or under? Let's see, So, that's what comes with it, right? That part was a highlight when I listened to it. Now, I will say overall, the hook wasn't my favorite. Um, Sing rap for me can be a hit or a miss, but I do enjoy it. It's nothing that I shy away from at all. Like, I do enjoy it, but I feel like there was some opportunities to throw some punchlines at the label with this the hook specifically. I like the energy that he started the verse with, the first verse with, but I would say his ending verse was the best verse out of his entire song here. So yeah, the song does, I guess, progress to get better. And overall, though, while this wasn't my favorite track by Trigger T, that doesn't mean that you won't like it more than I do. I feel like you should check it out regardless. I did give this specific track a 1 out of 3, but I went on to check out some of Trigger T's other work, and I will say definitely an artist to check out. He experiments with his sound, like I said before. And he's been dropping on the regular. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's something that's also important. Consistency. It's hard to be consistent at times, especially when you're navigating life and going through different shit. Sometimes I have hard days, you know what I'm saying? And I see, just how much y'all support. And that's a part of my motivation to get back on the fucking mic. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not easy, but I appreciate that he's been relentlessly going at it, just dropping projects after projects now. He has this rock style song called Sacrifice. That one's pretty cool. And some, I guess, two tracks that I did outside of Sacrifice that are hip hop related that I did enjoy more than Labels was Okay with an exclamation point and Elevate with an exclamation point. Songs that I will likely listen to over Labels. But overall, Trigger T, shout out Johannesburg, an artist to watch, to keep up with. Like I said, new to me, maybe new to you, but definitely worth the listen regardless. All right, so now we're going to hop into another track. We went overseas with it. Now we coming to the Northeast. We going to Brooklyn, New York. Near and dear to my heart. Not too far. That's where I grew up. Not too far away from me. Still close, you know what I'm saying? So anytime I have an artist from New York, anywhere in New York, specifically even Brooklyn, I'd be hyped. I'd be like, yeah, we making music, you know what I'm saying? It's not just mainstream shit. There's this other shit you gotta check out. But now we gonna hop into E King and Ricio Ready's song. So now we gonna hop into that E King and Ricio Ready. They drop Wallpaper. E King is a producer out of Brooklyn, New York. I actually had posted up a video a couple weeks ago with a beat that he made, and y'all was vibing with it. I actually did, a poll to see who y'all think would sound fire on the track, and we got some Benny the Butcher, we got Stove God. Stove God, watch the story. You better fucking hit him up, dude. But even some of y'all selves was like, shit, I want the beat. Let me hop on in, and I see y'all interacting. So like I said, that's the point. You know what I'm saying? Tap in with each other too. You know what I'm saying? There's talent there. You tap in with somebody that you haven't worked with before. That might be how you elevate. You know what I'm saying? That is how you elevate. You just experiment with different people. You know what I'm saying? So happy to see that. But yeah, that's the quality that, or I should say, that's the sample of a quality that E King delivers on the production. Now, Reese already, I hope I'm saying dude's name right, because if not, he might come and pop out, make me into wallpaper. But that's the name of the song, Wallpaper, right? So, hey, listen, what I gotta say about this track. Ricio, Mr. Ready, delivers with the bars, and E King delivers on the fucking production. Like, the production off rip was crazy. Like, and then Mr. Ready come in with the bars, you know what I'm saying? He hit us with they been in and out of court like some ball players, and then E King added in the sound of like basketball sneakers squeaking against the hardwood floors. I'm building the scene for y'all. I even appreciate those small little details. That shows me that you're really taking your shit seriously. Like, hold on, you know what I'm saying? Let me not just make the bars a journey. Let me make the beat too. You know what I'm saying? So fuck with that. Now, Ricio was back to back with the fucking bars. You know what I'm saying? Like rapping like rent was due for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Wallpaper. That's the name of the track. Make sure you don't download that. Wallpaper, the hood needs, is pretty much, talking about how the hood needs everything, right? And he's like, yo, how, we need more paper. We need more lasers for the ops. Shit, we even need more insoles because we've been working hard on our feet, because you know what I'm saying, the dues is due, you know what I'm saying, so we gotta put in our work, you know what I'm saying. But if you fuck with him and his boy, they might just let that thing go. Now, I ain't say it, I'm just the messenger. So you know what they say about the messenger: don't fucking shoot. Right? So this track, honestly, this is one of those mean mugging tracks. Like, you listen, you're like, okay, I'm fucking with it. Honestly, these two are an elite combo. They have other tracks together. They actually just dropped another track called Price of the Brick Going Up. Now, title says enough. But Easter Fly was also a banger that they dropped back in Easter. And also there was this Grinchmas Carol that dropped around the holidays last year. And Ricio on there talking about how he robbing Santa, and it's not for your kids. This is strictly for y'all that deserve that deserve and love some hard hitting fucking rap. So these two, E King, Ricio ready, check him out. You know what I'm saying? Stay ready, or you gonna turn into wallpaper straight like that. And if I didn't say it, I'm gonna say it again. It was a motherfucking 3 out of 3 for me. Run it up, listen to it. I try my best to give y'all the honest recommendations, and that's something you need to have in your playlist. Now we gonna, you know what I'm saying? We went from Johannesburg back to Brooklyn. Now we're gonna take a ride over to Reading, PA. Reading, PA, stand the fuck up. Now I don't know much about Reading other than it's far as fuck, and they got Hershey Park over there. But now I know talent lives there. Now Captain Brick done showed up for Reading. He showed y'all motherfuckers over there got talent that needs to be examined, because I want to know how the fuck dudes like you that go so hard on the track aren't known and getting more acknowledgement, because there's no way talent like that needs to stay under wraps. You know what I'm saying? That needs everybody need to listen to that. That's how I feel. When I get excited when I hear good music, y'all. So that's the energy that I'm gonna give y'all when I listen to this shit and make me go like, run that back. What? Like that's the energy that I want to give y'all. I want y'all to know that this shit, as I'm listening, all these tracks got me excited, but this one in particular, like Captain Brick, shout out to you and Dre Artist. No breaks. This was a solid track right here. Now, Captain Brick, if you check out his social, he's engaging with his supporters. He actually did album release party for Salute Me or Shoot Me. And if you check out his page, he does this segment too where it's like salute me or shoot me. Is this, if you gonna salute me because these bars are fire, or would you shoot me because you hate them, right? I really love that concept right there. The dude got hustle, you know what I'm saying? He's putting his money behind his talent because he believes in himself, right? Now, what he wants y'all to know about this track is supposed to be this hard-hitting, aggressive track with that Griselda-esque vibe. You know what I'm saying? And what I could tell y'all is that I fucking agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is the shit that got you rocking your head with that mean mug. Like, okay, that's how you feeling, Reddin? Okay. One bar, Captain Brick, he's coming at y'all off the hook. And I appreciate when motherfuckers use the hook to also talk they shit. Sometimes y'all be using the hook as throwaways. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But he on here like, yo, y'all pockets looking bad like court dates. Enough said. Court dates are horrible. Who wants to go to them, right? Them pockets is looking bad and sad, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? His hook, he was hooking y'all up to y'all jaw. No lie. So then we have Dre Artist coming. Now I was hyped for this because Dre Artist out of Jersey, second home to me, so I gotta shout them out, rock my hips with it. But Dre Artist has some fire ass bars as well. Nothing I love more than when a feature actually elevates the fucking song and adds to it. Sometimes people choose features and it takes the song down. It was a carefully thought out feature, so I really do feel like the song altogether was carefully thought out, from the beat to selecting who to go bar to bar with, you know what I'm saying? One bar that stood out to me from Dre Artist, he was like, in seconds your life can go from a movie to a TikTok. And it was just the way he said it was just so like, oh, that's not a threat, it's a promise. Got it. All right. But overall, Captain Brick has a fire project that y'all need to check out. This song itself, No Breaks, was a 3 out of 3. Salute Me or Shoot Me, worth tapping into, download, buy that shit wherever the fuck it's at. Support, you know what I'm saying? Like, and work with one another. This shit was fire. All right, so that was 3. Now we happen into number 4. And now another track. Oh my gosh, man. Like, there's sometimes where I listen to music submissions and they don't make it to y'all because I'm like, I can't do it. But these all just like I said, even with if they get a rating that's not necessarily like a 3 out of 3, whatever the case is, really people that have great work. And in this case, the greatness continues, right? Track Not track four, but number four on the list, we got Vinnie-Dangerous. Vinny dropped I Was Depressed today, not too long ago. And for this, we're gonna take a ride down. So we, you know what I'm saying, once a Reddit, we're gonna take a ride down to Raleigh, North Carolina. Alright, shout out to Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout out to Vinnie-Dangerous. Now, Vinny is a rapper, producer, podcaster. He's doing everything. He's doing it all. Like, I really love his content across TikTok and Instagram, and he's one of those dudes that's not afraid to speak on real shit and call shit out, call weird shit out. He does that, and that's actually how I came across his page. Like, when I was starting myself, you know what I'm saying, I like to show support to people that are in the lane that I'm trying to be in it myself, you know. So I was like, okay, this dude has great content. Oh, and he make music, and the music's fire. Bet. Definitely want to stay tuned there. So Vinnie-Dangerous, right? This particular song is called I Was Depressed Today. Now, while the song has this title that, you know, might feel heavy, the way this dude delivers on this song with such great energy is like, you know, it's intended to be a sad story, but it gets you hyped, just like the delivery of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this song, it navigates his struggle with depression, and like how at some point of it he was drinking so much to the point where his grandma was like, yo, why are you drinking so much? You know what I'm saying? The hook, he's talking about going to therapy and navigating that. And even the hook was like, I had energy off rip. I was just like, sheesh, like, okay, Vinnie-Dangerous got some shit to say. He's getting it off his chest, and I really appreciate the introspective vibes. You know, he spoke about like how, you know, he felt like his father abandoned him at 30 when he was becoming a father himself. Trials and tribulations with the family, and like, you know, even when his wife navigating becoming a mom, and you know, regardless of what he's going through, he knew he had to put bread on the table. You know what I'm saying? He knew he had to go to work and face the world. And this is a track that, you know, like, definitely has the potential to feed the family. You know what I'm saying? If you keep making tracks like this, I think you deserve to feed the family with this music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shows talent worthy of being acknowledged. And I always appreciate hard hitting introspective music. So for me, this was definitely a 3 out of 3. I enjoyed the cadence, the delivery, the beat. It was from top to bottom, just like, I listened to it a few times, a few different days. I'm like, yeah, I really do like this song. This is something that will likely stay on my repeat list, and y'all should check it out too. I'm gonna keep saying it. Now, number 5 on the list, Thought Provokah. Now, we went down south a little bit. I'm about to take this ride back up to New York. Instead of Brooklyn, we're going to Queens. All right, we tapping into different boroughs. Different boroughs got different vibes, y'all. We ain't gonna put them in a box. Thought Provokah, out of Queens, New York, has a song called Nice Ain't Free. Thought Provokah actually dropped a project called Thoughts with Thought, and it's a really nice project. Just navigates him speaking through, like, as he's going to different cities type shit, just, you know, different vibes for us to check out. And this particular song, Nice Ain't Free, jazzy, smooth vibes off rip. Like, I was like, okay, boom bap. Niggas be hating on boom bap. What's wrong with it? Nothing. It is original. It is where I feel like if a lot of motherfuckers really took the time to really tap into the sound and develop it and not place it in a box that's only certain people listen to it, you can fucking excel. This is what New York sounds like as well, and I really enjoyed it. Shout out to Talented, I believe that's the producer on the track. The production on this was beautiful. That was the first thing, you know, that this is the first thing you notice, right? You hear the beat first in the song, you're like, okay. And like, I was so impressed. Before this song even hit the 1 minute time stamp, it was like 40, 45 seconds, 50. I was like, run it back, run it back. You know, I didn't even get through the whole song. I was like, yeah, this is decided. This already sounds like it's gonna be a banger. I love the intro of this song on here. Thought Provoker is like, when you've been through what he's been through, the pen becomes your saving grace. And I'm sure a lot of y'all artists can relate to that. But he's like, how he slept on floors, late night rides, late nights in the studio, just perfecting his craft. And despite going through new crowds and new cities, it's the same motherfuckers you gotta impress, the same people, right? Same people you gotta prove to, and throughout his journey of just navigating this, the lesson out of this is, hey, nice ain't free. Being nice ain't free. It costs you. It costs you to be kind to these motherfuckers. It costs you to be nice to people that you shouldn't be nice to, especially when people take advantage of you. But let me not go on a tangent, right? Honestly, support Thought Provoker. Thoughts with Thought, Fire Project. He has another project, I believe is pronounced El Senya. Check that out as well. And Nice Ain't Free, run that up. 3 out of 3 for me. I don't have any complaints. Y'all just keep, oh my gosh, I keep going through this list. I'm like, yeah, I remember how I was feeling listening to this. So thank you guys for giving me some good music to listen to. Shit, I should be thanking y'all. But all right, so now I got 2 more artists to talk to y'all about. Other artists, we're gonna tap into number 6, Psy No Lie, SY No Lie, aka Psy, dropped a project called Lessons Learned on Even. Support artists on Even. I checked it out. Shit, you could pay what you want. I think the project deserves to be checked out, especially if you're a person that likes to sing, rap, hip hop, R&B blend. You might appreciate this. Now, Psy is out of Orlando, Florida, so we're going back down south. We're gonna stop in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Florida. We'll stop over there, right? So lessons learned. The project overall it's supposed to navigate exactly that. Lessons learned, specifically lessons learned from our relationship that turned sour. And on here, Psy is like navigating loneliness and how he dished out a lot of love, but it wasn't reciprocated, got done dirty. You know what I'm saying? The hate that I love you vibe. Like I said, he gives this sing rap cadence, and overall the project was solid. It was a storytelling album, cohesive with a theme. The interludes with talking tracks were perfectly placed in my opinion. Not too much talking, but just enough to like transition us through his story of heartbreak. I had to go support him on Even, and that's why I'm talking to y'all, giving y'all a little overview, if you will. But now I'm going to talk about a highlight track out of this because it's more of a song review, right? So Lonely was a solid intro for me after the talking track. But I kept coming back to this track called How I Feel. This one in particular, sides on here, like how depression got him feeling like he can't keep his life together. They, you know what I'm saying? They just want to know how he feels. You got the landlord knocking, trying to work with God, but it's not working out. He's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like no one's at the other end of the line to really answer his prayers. And I feel like this song, I chose it because it was a nice blend to show his talent of singing and rapping. Like, I feel like it was the right amount of both, and I feel like he just has this great introspective vibe to him as well. That I'm a sucker for that type of songs. You know what I'm saying? I like shit that make me feel something. So this track, I did give it a 3 out of 3. Overall, the project, it was a solid project, but I would say this song is something that I appreciate and would like to see more from him too. Like keep that nice balance you got going on with this track. Yeah, so check out Side, check out How I Feel, and shit. If you can, check out that entire project, Lessons Learned. All right, so last but not least on this underground review section, I am going to talk to y'all about young Reese Dude dropped a project called Light. And young Reese Dude is out of the Midwest, Columbus, Dayton, Ohio. So we went down south a couple times. We going over the Midwest. We getting we showing love everywhere, out of country, up north, down south, Midwest. I ain't gonna Cali swag in here, but it's coming soon. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? Like Young Reese do another project that I got to spend some time listening to. It was a beautiful project, no lie. I was thoroughly impressed with the talent. I feel like Young Reese Dude and Doc Johnson definitely have to keep making music together. It's like a requirement. Like y'all do some good shit together. So definitely keep that, you know what I'm saying? Um and even as you explore working with other people like that, that's just a recipe that seemed to be baking well, all right? So out of this project, like there's a couple songs that I like, Fast Break, That Goodness, but the one that I want to share with y'all today is called Salvation featuring P the Prophet. Now, it was a tough choice, but I ended up with Salvation really because this one, it navigates like betrayal, right? And I like how he really does a great job of storytelling, right? I enjoy artists that can really tell a story throughout a song, right? Keeps you engaged, and it this track kept me the most engaged. One verse was like, "Yo, ain't that supposed to be your brother? You know, the one you're supposed to slide for, the one you give your last for," but it navigates like, damn, it's supposed to be, but they don't feel like it, right? And then another verse, the moves on to like, you know what I'm saying, like hit him with a, and that's supposed to be your wife, and you dope treating her like this, you know what I'm saying, moving crazy. Like Young Reese Dude and Peter Prophet, they delivered on here. I really do appreciate that storytelling vibe. I love the hook. It was catchy and it was smooth as fuck. I feel like overall introspective Wednesday day. Like a lot of these tracks on here give that vibe and that kind of delivery. And Young Reese Dude is an artist that I definitely recommend supporting, checking out his project wherever you prefer to listen to music. And I gave this track a 3 out of 3. He got some other songs on Light that is worth listening to. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fucking talented individuals on here. So yeah, Young Reese Dude, 3 out of 3. And like to give you an overall summary, like listening to all these artists really made me hype. I was really like, just like, yeah, this is talent that deserves to be mainstream. And like, even if it's not mainstream on a level of like being played on the radio or whatever, it deserves to have us, the culture, the people listening and tapping into. Like I said, I want artists to tap in with each other. I want y'all that are listeners and hip hop lovers, or regardless of hip hop, R&B, dancehall, whatever the genre is, people that just appreciate good fucking music, to tap into these people, share it, you know what I'm saying? Visit their page, follow them on Bandcamp, even add to your playlist, download the song, you know, all that stuff helps them, right? And it doesn't matter how many monthly listeners they have on Spotify. Not a lot of people even use Spotify as their main source of consuming music. So you gotta cut that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like the point is that you need to listen to whatever the fuck you want to listen to. Fuck the numbers, support the people. Now to wrap up this episode, I'm gonna hop into a little bit of mainstream for y'all. We gonna hop into this project review for Joey Badass, really long awaited, highly anticipated, Lonely at the Top. Just to give you a quick recap of the project review criteria, you know, what I'm looking for, obviously it can consist of EPs, mixtapes, whatever, albums, but the ratings, I'm looking at creativity, bars, versatility, features, impact on me, impact on others, just like the overall feel of the song. I take notes for each song as I'm listening. That's what I did for those underground songs as well. I listened to them a few times. I take my notes one time without even taking notes, just so I could fully feel the vibes. I like to go run that shit up in the car. You know, that system hits different. And I rate each song from 1 to 3 fire signs. 1 is mid, 2 is good, and 3 is fire. And you know, if it's fire, it's likely on replay for me. Now at the end of the album, I would rate it 1 through 10 with a letter grade to coincide, right? And then I like to give y'all a recap of some highlights over that. Like I mentioned at the top of this episode, there's been a few releases over the last few weeks. Over the summer, we've been getting music back to back. You know what I'm saying? Last year was looking kind of scary outside of like the Drake and Kendrick shit. I feel like outside of that moment, music was kind of like, okay. But this year we've gotten a lot to unpack. God doesn't like ugly, Offset drop, Kiari, we got Supreme Clientele 2, we got Chance the Rapper, Mariah the Scientist, which was unfortunately a little snoozy for me, but she did have a couple highlights on there. Tiana Taylor, Earl Sweatshirt, like West Side Gun back to back to back to back to back, like Currency back to back every month. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get that on that 30. So it's been great to just listen and review different projects. I would say out of those, the few that I mentioned, West Side Gun, I did, take some notes for that. Hills Have Eyes too, along with some others. One in particular I wanted to mention because, I did review Hills Have Eyes 1, and I was trying to figure out which one I like better. So I ran up Hills Have High to a few times, honestly. And I will say I had the first edition on replay a lot more. That one I prefer more. I gave Hills Have Eyes to a 7 out of 10. But Westside Gun is that guy, man. He been consistently dropping. He been feeding the fans for the love of the music. And my top three tracks, I will say, is Amira Kitchen, Mandela, and Bome Descorazon. Come Descorazon, but with a B, you know what I'm saying? Big B's over there, I guess. But other than that, I really want to hop into this Joey Badass Lonely at the Top, right? So Joey dropped this track. I mean, this project is 40 minutes, 11 songs on here. And, Joey has been in the headlines consistently lately because of the rapping that he did over the summer. You know what I'm saying? He decided to attack the West Coast full on. He said, I got this by myself, and then other people came up and stepped in with him. But Joey handled them guys, and Ray Vaughn and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did his thing. He's been acting, of course. He's been in his acting bag, multi-talented, but I think one thing that's also been in the headlines for him that's not so much on the positive side. It's like the issues he's been having with the labels, even with this project. I feel like it didn't really get the marketing that it should have. Of course, he went to speak on radio stations and stuff like that, but the album lacked promo. It felt like it was treated like a mixtape almost. I've seen some people agree with that as well. And, you know, I feel like that ties into why the project didn't really do that well as far as sales. Now, I don't give a fuck about that. I still listened to the album and gave it my genuine thoughts and feedback, but the album sold less than 9K within the first week, which is I feel like that's not really good. You know what I'm saying? It's the first album of his career to actually not debut on the Billboard 200. So, a lot to look at. And like, yeah, I think the marketing was one of the things. And, I think that's a big thing. And outside of that, though, I'm going to tell y'all what I feel about it, because I ain't going to let that decide the quality of the music, right? Now, like I said before, Joey versus the West was, it was exciting to see. He popped out. He motivated a few New York rappers to pop out themselves, and actually one of them ended up, a couple of them featured on this project. One that I'm excited about, Kai Cash. So, what I'm saying, I spoke about this a bit on episode, I believe it was 14, but Joey versus everybody. It was crazy. Now, before I hop into the songs, I did want to highlight the cover art. Now, Joey has this fire ass cover art, and I'm actually glad that it wasn't AI. Check I think he made a post on his page tagging who the artist was, and I checked out his other work, and I'm like, yeah, this is dope. This is good. I'm happy to see when artists pour into other artists, and don't use this fucking whack ass technology to make your shit. Stop using AI for that shit. Now we gonna talk about these tracks. All right, so Joey kicks off Lonely at the Top with Dark Aura, track 1 on here. Honestly, this was a really strong start. I love when the album kicks it off with a solid intro. Sometimes people put that as a little throwaway song, in my opinion, and don't really use it to really reel the audience in. And with Dark Aura, I feel like Joey did exactly that. He reeled me in, at least. I feel like he set the tone for here. I feel like he had energy throughout the track, and he's on here like, I gotta keep my foot on these niggas' necks. And to be honest, he has been, despite the label issues. He finally got back to delivery, and even with the label issues and this project having some tension with it getting pushed back and all that, he's been dropping, his tracks regardless of whether they want him to go drop it on fucking DSPs or not. But yeah, Dark Aura, keep that foot on them necks. You know what I'm saying? I gave this a 3 out of 3 for this track. Now we hop into track 2 with a feature from West Side Gun. We got Swank White. I honestly love the beat on this. On here, Joey's like, no, nobody never told him that the top will feel this lonely, and he had to put the team on his back. You know what I'm saying? He did it all for him. And if you think about Joey and his group of friends, I feel like Joey was a highlight artist out of them, right? All talented, but Joey definitely, pulled some weight himself. So another bar on here that I really like, it was like, so fly you couldn't reach these heights unless you found God. Like, all right, damn, bro. That's some super fly shit. Yeah, all right. Bad. But Joey's not stopping, you know what I'm saying? His appetite grew. He already knows that he can stand on business and back his word up. And that's the vibe I got from here. And then, you got West Side Gun coming in with the gun sounds and all that shit. And he's on like one line that I thought was funny from him, or funny fire bar, which I feel like he gives that every now and then too. He's like, money machine broke. Who the fuck counting that? There's so much money, man. I can't manually do this shit. I need my money machine. So I'm like, shit, let me get one of those. let me get like y'all. But this track was while I did appreciate seeing the feature from West Side Gun, I gave this track a 2 out of 3. It was a good track. Not necessarily my first track to pick up and have on replay. Now we're gonna hop into Super Flea featuring Bree Stevies. Now on here, the beat off rip, I was like, yo, this shit feels swaggy as fuck. It was giving like early 2000 vibes, you know what I'm saying? Like, and honestly, I was like, damn, I get a little nervous when projects start off this good. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? First, Dark Aura started off good. West Side Gun, not too bad. Now we getting into this, and it keeps developing. It keeps getting it better. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's track 3, but hey, sometimes the first 3 songs you be like, what is this motherfucker doing? Like, so I did really like the beat on here, and Bree added a nice vibe to the hook, complimented the song, and made me want to rock my shoulders, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this gave New York. This gave like that swaggy shit that we can deliver. And like, motherfuckers been dragging New York sound lately because, motherfuckers been sticking in the box, right? I have even been saying, talking my shit and, expressing my grievances, right? But this one, I feel like, yeah, do that and do more of this. You know what I'm saying? Keep reminding motherfuckers what we could do, and we not just drill, and we not just one type of sound. We not just Cash Cobains and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So do that. Now, 3 out of 3. Now we move on to track 4, High Roller, featuring ASAP Ferg and Kel's Too Busy. So Joey has a bar on here. He's like, yo, they go crazy when they see low green, like CeeLo Green, but they seeing low green. Thought that was fire. A calm little, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, got it. And he's pretty much like, yo, money fix my problems. That's money fix problems. You know what I'm saying? Like Joey's like, you know how he's navigated the game all the way to the top. You know what I'm saying? He speaks about how his his downfall he feels like is only his pride and how that has gotten in the way. And ASAP Ferg lays down some bars on here too. Now I love ASAP Ferg, love his music. Um, Let me look at my phone real quick to tell you one of my favorite projects by him. Blanket right now, but I got you in three, two, motherfucking one. Shit, still thriving. 2017. I got a few plain Jane, fucking mattress on here. Nasty featuring Migos, still thriving by ASAP Ferg. That's definitely a project that if you want to tap into Ferg or you already do, it's a project that I think is worth replaying, right? It's a project that I like a lot, but I was excited to see him on here. But it wasn't my favorite verse. He was having fun though. And I will say this song, it was a song that grew on me. It was a 1 out of 3 at first. I ended up giving it 2 fire signs out of 3. Now, you know what I'm saying? They on here pretty much like flexing about what they gonna do for these shorty type shit. Like if she want it, it's yours. High roller lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Just like the name of the song. So 2 out of 3. Now we move on to track 5. I feel like this is the part of the project where we're getting that for the ladies vibes. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, Joey, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. So ready to love featuring Ty Dolla Sign. You know Ty Dolla Sign gonna do his thing. He a little, but Ty Dolla Sign, I like when he hop on the track and elevate it, and I feel like that's what he did here. Does it fit the theme though about being lonely at the top? I guess if it's like, oh, I'm ready to love, I'm feeling lonely, but that was a question that I kind of had when I came to the song, but I still did really like the song. So like I said, Ty added the vibes to it, singing on it, and Joey is actually on a sing rap type of vibe here. It's like how he needed a queen to match him, king, because he refers to himself as that. And I listened to this album a few times since it dropped, almost practically like almost every day, y'all. Like every day on my commute, I was really trying to place how I feel. But this song right here, there was no question about it. It was a 3 out of 3. I feel like the ladies might love this one. I mean, it's for y'all. It's for us, not me. But well, whatever. Y'all get it. 3 out of 3, ready to love featured Ty Dolla Sign. So now we move on to track 6. Back to that rapping shit. None of that sing rap. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got a problem with that. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? We got BK's Finest featuring Rome Streets, Kai Cash, and CJ Fly. I'm hyped to see that Kai Cash because when I heard that Nixon 6, when I saw him step into the fucking battle and say, yo, Joey, I got you. Unlike Kanye saying, "Die, I got you." He really had Joey's back. And since that moment, I kept up with Kai. I really been admiring his growth as an artist just from that moment. He's capitalized off of that and he's been keeping himself relevant and growing his following, growing his talent, growing his network. And shit, since from Nixon 6 to now, I feel like shit, even his own project just showing that, yo, I got it in me. I'm like that. Now, I'm not just the handsome hustler. I'm the nigga that lays down bars on the track. Now, back to the overall song. This was special to me because I feel like they all delivered, from Joey, Rome Streets, Kai Cash, CJ Fly, that also, been with Joey. And I feel like this is the talent that people need to see out of New York. It's not just a drill scene. And I really appreciate these guys for reviving that and showing that this is the cadence that we do and we do it well, right? Now, outside of that, like I said, I was excited for Kai Cash. But, I feel like I also had to give my favorite verse to him. I like I said, I feel like I'm noticing the improvements. He's been on the up and up. But this song overall is a song that I have on replay. When I go to the album and I choose the song I want to listen to first, it's between this and Dark Aura so far. So these are the tracks that I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is that feeling that I want people to do. Tap into that regional sound and keep spreading that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there we go. Now, track 7. We're hopping into that mid towards end point of the project. Track 7 is called Underwater. Now, this is more of a singing Joey vibe. Opens up about, losing friends and feeling like he can't breathe because he's underwater. And you know what I'm saying? Even though he's at the surface, he can't catch himself. You know what I'm saying? Save him from himself. And he's been waiting his whole life for this moment to be at the top. Joey at the top, but it's feeling lonely here. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind him experimenting and doing the singing, but this track, I ain't gonna lie, was a little snoozy for me, which is why I gave it a 1 out of 3 mid. This is where I feel like I'm like, okay, what are we about to get for the rest of the album? Is it going to be a bunch of mid songs? Did you give us all the good ones at the top? So, whatever. We're going to keep on talking through the damn reviews, and I'll let you know how I feel overall at the end. Now, track 8. Track 8 is called 3 Feet Away, and I feel like this is another attempt of him going back to hit that theme, Lonely at the top. He's been trying to find his way through the darkness. The overall message was like, don't give up. The goal could literally be 3 feet away. Like, you've been grinding so hard, and the moment you decide to say, nah, fuck it, you just you just missed the thing that you were within, like, hands reach of get. Well, not 3 feet. Hands can't be 3 feet, but you was almost there. You know what I'm saying? So don't give up. And I appreciate that message as well. But while the message was there, I don't know. I wasn't really feeling the song. He talks about how, I'm saying, you can't lock him out of the pool that he swims in as long as he follows his heart. He can't lose. And how he's on this tunnel vision path to success. Like, I only see success. But I wasn't crazy over Joey's delivery on this track. So that's why I gave it a lower rating of 1 out of 3. So that's where I'm going to leave that one. Now we move on to track 9. It's called Speeding Through the Rain. It's kind of like his story, speeding through the rain, through New York, navigating how, he used to ride the MTA, and now his accounts is reading over 100Ks, you know what I'm saying? 100Ks and all that, you know what I'm saying? And he kind of finds himself on memory lane when he's looking for the drive, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the shit that motivated me to get to where I need to go. So let me keep reminding myself about that. Now, this song, I gave it a 2 out of 3. There was times when I was re-listening to the project, I was like, oh, is it a 3? But I didn't feel very sure about it. And I want to be sure before I just be giving out 3s, right? This was more of a 2 out of 3. Now we move on to Still, track 10, featuring Ab-Soul and Rhapsody. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I saw the names, I was very excited to listen to this track. But once I heard it, I feel like this was another track that was kind of underwhelming. Wasn't crazy over the hook and chorus, but I was excited because, Ab-Soul and Joey, they did that Red Bull cipher together, throwing some friendly jab, a little friendly battle, if you will. And that shit go hard, but once I finally hear them on the track together and we got Rhapsody, I was like, this track feels kind of boring. Like, I don't know. Like, I wanted more of that energy that they had on that Red Bull Cypher. I feel like I didn't get that here. So that's why I gave it a 1 out of 3. To close it out, we go on to Lonely at the Top, track 11. This beat has a jazzy feel to it. It kind of felt like something that Alchemist will hop on. You know what I'm saying? The piano keys, those lighter keys, on the loop there, and it was a great outro song for this project. I'm not gonna lie, it picked up back that energy. Lonely at the Top hits on the song name, project name. It had better hit on that theme because it's the same fucking name, right? But he took us back to his roots in this song, the story about how, the trap was right next to his grandma's stoop. He speaks about how there's snakes in the grass. No matter who you are, you're not invincible, and you can very much be compromised by the company you keep. You know what I'm saying? The streets don't play fair. Joey keep that thing concealed because of that. And hey, I'll second that fucking message. Not about keeping that thing on me, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell y'all what I got and what I don't, cause whatever. But uh, more so about like, yo, pretty much don't let your company compromise you. You can be a product of your environment, but you can choose to rise out of it. But a lot of times you can very much end up being a product of the friends you keep, and their shit can get you into shit. Not even because you want to be a part of that shit, but just because it's like having fucking mold nearby and thinking that you're not going to feel away. You know what I'm saying? You better get that moldy, crusty motherfucker out your circle. He fucking with the bag, or he fucking with opportunities, or he's a monitoring spirit. Watch out for them motherfuckers. They be the ones that, they claim they want to see you up. They just there to watch you and make sure you stay exactly where you are. Lonely at the Top, this track was a 3 out of 3 for me. I love how he closed this project. At first, I got a little scared towards the middle, but then this just brought it back, right? And overall, I could say I want to see more of this authentic New York style of rapping. People are placing New York rappers in a box. You know what I'm saying? It's like a drill with a sprinkle of Jersey Club. And like I said, we all can't be Cash Cobains. We all can't be Pop Smoke. RIP. It's time to really rebirth the regional sound. I want to see more of that. I feel like we do well at that. And, Joey plays on the theme of being lonely at the top across most of the songs. But overall, it did feel like a collection of some vibes. We get a little bit of introspective. We get a little bit of the vibes for the ladies, a little bit of him like just, flaunting his shit. And I did still enjoy the project though. With that being said, the best feature on here, BK's Finest. Come on, Rome Streets, Kai Cash, and CJ Fly did exactly what they were supposed to. For Joey did as well. The song Through and Through was an amazing song to listen to. Song that has been on repeat for me. Now, as far as keep it, Joey, you could have this 3 feet away. Keep that. I don't want it. I I I like that it was trying to hit at a theme, but it didn't really do the best. You know what I'm saying? Now, best song. Tough choice, but I'm going with Dark Aura. I feel like it was a solid intro, and every time I replay the album and I start there, I'm like, yeah, it keeps me interested, engaged, and it makes me want to continue listening to the rest of the album. So I'll give it that. Now, if I gotta give y'all my top songs, I will. My top 4, I got 4 for this one. Dark Aura, BK's Finest, Ready for Love, and Super Flea. Those songs are the songs that when I go back to this project, I'll listen to them first. I really did enjoy them. Joey did a great job, and I feel like just these 4 songs here kind of gives you a sum of the vibes to expect. You know what I'm saying? This is the 4 that, okay, this speaks to what I said before about just being a collection of different vibes, and one of each of these kind of serves to the introspective or the vibes for the ladies, or just Joey talking his shit, right? So overall, I gave this project dun, 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 a 8.5 out of 10. It's a B plus. I enjoyed it despite the low sales. I feel like there's some other shit going on. I will be revisiting this album. I have been. I've listened to it over 10 times at this point, and I really wanted to give y'all like just, my thoughts on it, because like I said, it's been highly anticipated, especially by me. When he dropped Passports, was it last year or late 2023? I was like, oh shit, we getting new Joey soon. And then I was like, oh fuck, not yet. But now we got it, and I love it. So 8.5 out of 10, B plus. It actually was originally, I'm not gonna lie, it was more like a 7.5 at first, but I kept listening to it and I was like, nah, this deserves this 8.5. I'm lying. There's more songs on here that I like that I don't like. So that's a good sign, right? So yeah, Joey Badass, Lonely at the Top did his thing. Now, we at the end of the episode, y'all. And I just want to say thank y'all for listening. Like, download, subscribe, wherever you listening to this at, and whether you watching me or listening to the audio, I appreciate you. And like I said before, If y'all could extend that listen to these artists, the underground artists specifically that I mentioned today, all 7 of them, please do go run their shit up. Go run their numbers up. Yeah, you could get back to Joey. You probably already listening to, what I'm saying? But these new guys, go check them out. Worth the listen. They are part of the culture. They putting on for the culture. I was really impressed with all their work, and I want y'all to check them out. Let me know your thoughts too. Let me know, hey, nah, that song you wildin', that song, let's talk about it. I'm here for the debate, and I don't care. But hey, thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a lovely day, night, morning, rest of your day, whenever the hell you listening to this. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Damn it. And until next time, enjoy yourselves. We're going to come back, chop it up, and I'm going to talk to y'all about a little bit of Cardi B, hopefully some Young Thug. And don't forget, if you're an artist, somebody making music, I am selecting one artist to do a full project review for.